Tammy Webster with Bull Riding Rodeo Connection. I'm here at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. We're here at the first performance, and we've got two of the heroes here of the rodeo for bull riding, Dusty Tuckness and Andy Burelle. I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about what y'all do, and I know y'all do more than just cowboy protection. I was watching y'all out there tonight, but first, just to let everybody know where you're from, and of course we know you're a three-time PRCA Bullfighter of the Year. You got your third one this year. So just tell everybody where you're from and how long you've been bullfighting.
My name is Dusty Tuckness. I'm from Meeteetse, Wyoming, up in the northwest corner of by Cody, Wyoming. And I just grew up rodeoing and fighting bulls, and now I'm just living a dream.
And Andy, where you're from and how long you've been fighting bulls.
I'm originally from Brighton, Michigan. Now live in Ardmore, Oklahoma, and I've been doing this for 14 years.
Okay, now I know y'all have fought here at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo quite a bit. How many years have you been fighting this rodeo, Dusty?
This is my 5th year here at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, and like I said, we're just looking forward to another great year.
And Andy, what about you?
7 years here now.
Number 7. Now, tonight we had it wasn't quite as much action as it's been for the Bulls Night Out. We had 2 nights performances of that, so you only have, what, about 10 riders tonight?
Yeah, it was about 10 or 12 bull riders tonight, and yeah, it's a lot of difference from the last 2 nights when it is Bulls Night Out. You know, we had 100 bulls that we fought in 2 days, and now we're chopping it down to about anywhere from 12 to 15 bull riders a night. But we've got 29 performances left, so a nice little easy night like that to start it out, we'll take it.
Well, I know the bulls seemed pretty rough during the Bulls Night Out. It seems like several of them were ready to fight a little bit more than the bull y'all had out for the cowboy poker. He didn't seem to want to play very much.
Yeah, last night, like I said, there was about 5 or 6 different contractors with some great bucking bulls, and the first night with the bull poker, the bull really didn't want to play cards very much, so we finally got the last night's bull to come out and hit the table and kind of get the crowd into it. So, but yeah, shoot, this rodeo here, it's an original rodeo, and we got 29 perfs left, so you're going to see a little bit of everything come to this deal.
Okay, well, one of the things I kind of wanted to talk to y'all about, obviously you're out there to fight bulls to protect the cowboys, but y'all do a lot more than that. I mean, I watch y'all, and you're out there helping pull ropes. You're out there when the bull's not acting, not behaving in the chute, helping out there. I mean, you're doing a little bit of everything. So, Andy, tell us a little bit more about kind of what all y'all do other than just, protect the bull rider.
When you come to the rodeo, we represent the PRCA, and we're trying to put out a product that the crowd enjoys. And to do that, everyone has to ride for the brand and work as a team. So when we come to work, it's not just that 20 minutes during a bull riding. We get paid to do a job, and we show up for the 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever it takes to put the rodeo on, and pitch in whenever we can, because that's what it takes to make a great production, and that's why we're professionals and why we're in a PRCA.
Now, I know you're also a little bit of a cheerleader, so you're out there dancing a little bit, getting the crowd into it. Dusty, is that just something you just like to do?
Yeah, I grew up into the rodeo business. My dad fought bulls, and he's a rodeo clown now. So, I've always kind of been that energetic kind of guy, the class clown in a way. And, I don't get embarrassed very easy. So, when I'm out there in the arena, it's a job, but it's a fun job to me. So I like having fun with it, whether it's dancing or me and Andy or whoever I'm fighting bulls with is joking. And you'll see a lot of times we're out there laughing, or if one of us gets bumped or even run over sometimes, we'll make a joke into it, and because I know he's going to protect my side, as much as I'm going to protect his. So, we do this all year long. It's not a weekend here and a weekend there. So, you might as well have fun doing it. And a bullfighter like Andy on the other side, it's always a pleasure and fun to have him, and we just make the best of it. So anything to entertain myself or the crowd, will do it.
Well, that is something I've noticed too. I know see you get run over or take a hit, and then you jump up and you're just smiling and just happy, and you're talking about it. So kind of what do y'all say after Dusty gets run over? What do you say to him, Andy?
Well, first of all, you ask if he's all right. Once he says yes, then you usually say, you should have moved a little faster, or did you trip, or something along those lines. If this job wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it. It's not one of those things that is going to make us rich. And try and make us famous, but I don't know about that. Most famous people are dead. So, but yeah, if you didn't enjoy it, if we don't make this fun, then there's no sense being out there.
Well, I know the action started a little early tonight in the grand entry. I call it doing a Patrick.
Yeah, the grand entry. That's something unique to Fort Worth. We actually, as the bullfighters, have to ride in the grand entry. It's in our contract, and so we get these ponies every year, and they probably don't get rode all year until we bring them out the first time. And yeah, I hit the dirt again. I tell you, we dread the pony race and the pony ride in the Grand Entry more than we dread fighting bulls here. So usually the last performance, once we get through the Grand Entry, we're like, yes, we survived.
Well, and it wasn't just once. I mean, you come off once, and then you chased him around and finally got him, and then you come off again.
Yeah, he was feeling a little froggy tonight. I think I went by the gate, and somebody stepped out the gate real fast and spooked him and made him buck the first time when he threw me off, and then after I caught him the next time, he was so worked up, there just wasn't a whole lot of hope for me.
He wasn't very friendly. So what did you have to say to us? I saw him talking out there afterwards.
When I seen it happen, I was going through the alley, and one of my buddies said Andy just about got bucked off. And when I broke around the out gate, he was already bucked off. And like I said, it's one of them deals. We make the best of it and have fun with it. And that's another thing. Like Andy said, you never know what's going to happen in that Grand Entry. Some nights you're going to have 250 people on horses, out there riding and circling around, and some horses are fresh, some are seasoned, and it gets real crowded in that arena quick. And like I said, with them little ponies and the donkey that I'm riding, you just never know what they're going to do, because they're not used to this, the crowded situations. But we make the best of it, and like Andy said, when we're done with that 30th one, before the bull ride, and we got away clean, and now we're just ready to fight bulls. So, but it's one of them deals at Fort Worth, the only rodeo that does it, and it's something that brings a unique factor to the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo.
Well, you could just say it was part of the show. No one would know any better.
You come enough, it'll be part of the show.
Okay, one of the things I was going to say, I know y'all always wear the makeup, and I really like that. So, and a lot of the bullfighters don't do that anymore. So, how do y'all feel about that? Why do y'all still wear the makeup?
For me, I grew up into it. And my dad always had, the baggies when he fought bulls and the long baggies when he clowned and had the makeup on. And so at a very young age, I was watching bullfighting, and back then when I was a kid, everybody wore it. And it was more of a traditional thing for me, and I just kind of felt like, it was something I wanted to keep going. And like you said, there's some guys that are going, away from the baggies or away from the makeup, and it's going to be something that for me, and I think Andy and there's a few other of us, we're going to keep hold on to it, because it's, it's kind of our image, and we still get the, oh, you're a clown. Well, for me and Andy, we're bullfighters, but it's kind of the set trail that's already been paved, and we're going to keep going that route. And I think Andy, he's kind of, and I'll let him tell you a little bit more about it, but he's in a transition. He's not slowing down fighting bulls, but he's looking into some clowning, and he's started doing acts and different stuff like that, just trying to build something else out of what he's already established in his bullfighting career. So, well,
Andy, why don't you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm 36 years old, and I figure I've got 4 or 5 years left where I can really, really help guys. And after that, I don't want to be out there and be a liability to anyone. So in keeping with that, I decided I better start learning to do some comedy, and that way I have some longevity, because rodeo isn't something I want to quit. So if I move to the comedy and work in the barrel and being a rodeo clown, it's something I can do for a long time and keep enjoying and being around my friends and living the lifestyle that I love. So I'm going to stay with it. And as far as wearing makeup, like I said, this is putting on a show, and this is for the kids and the families, and so there's nothing wrong. I ain't too proud to wear makeup. It's for them.
Now, one of the other things I wanted to ask, I know, you said you're wearing the baggies, and I've had some bullfighters say that you actually wear loose clothing because it's a bigger target for the bull. Is that true?
Yeah, bulls are naturally colorblind, so they go to movement and the shade and stuff. So when the baggy clothes, the bandanas, different stuff like that. I think that was a lot of the reason, when they first started doing it, back in the early days, and it just gives them something, a little bigger target to swipe at. Instead of them maybe hooking you yourself, they might be hooking your baggies or bandanas. So I mean, it does help, I think. But on top of that, I've fought bulls without them and with them. I don't think it's at a big enough factor to where it's, you're going to get hooked less. I think that still comes with the person within. If you're going to get out there and step into a situation where, it's a hooking situation, or one, you just got to ante up every day. So, but like I said, growing up into it, I love the baggies, and when I don't have them on, sometimes I feel naked, so I don't like to be naked.
Okay, well, the other thing, we've got, I know all the bullfighters, and I'm sure all of them appreciate so much what y'all do for them. But there's really a relationship between y'all and the bull riders. I mean, I see after they buck off or something, a lot of times y'all are out there encouraging them or talking to them. Kind of share a little bit about that relationship with the riders.
It's awesome, because like Andy said earlier, this is something that he does, we do all year long. And so we see these guys, week in and week out. And at a rodeo like Fort Worth, we're going to see them at least 2 days. And if they make the short round, 3. And then various other rodeos will see them, everywhere too. So you get to know these guys, and it just makes it fun, So it's like our rodeo family. So we're never really away from home. And so we got a lot of great friends that are even in other events. But, it's, after they buck off or ride or whatever, joke with them and have a good time, because it just makes everybody else have a good time, and it just relaxes you out there. And then, when you got a good friend or somebody that's out and they go 90 points, you're so excited for them. You want to see them do good just as much as, they want you to be there to save them. So it's a great relationship, and the camaraderie in the rodeo world is just awesome. You don't meet a stranger, and everybody's going to lend a hand to help you out any way they can.
Well, Andy, when you have a rider, since you know most of them, but some obviously probably want to hear something after they have a rough out, and some probably don't want to hear anything, depending on the rider. But what's something you might tell somebody that just had a rough out, and maybe they booked off at 7.8, and it's just a heartbreaker?
Most of these guys are tough enough, and they know they can't ride them all. A lot of times, maybe I just tell them the truth. Sometimes they don't like to hear it, but if you don't work on helping guys and tell them, hey, you did this wrong, or you could have done this different, try a little harder or something, then they can't get better. So they appreciate it, and sometimes there's just nothing they could have done to ride that bull. He was unrideable that day, and you let them know, hey, it wasn't you, buddy. That bull was rank.
Well, I did see you jump the bull tonight. Is that something we're going to see every night from one of y'all?
Yeah, that's for another tradition at Fort Worth. Every night here, when the bull riding's over, we fight one. So they don't do that at a lot of rodeos anymore, but they do it here, and they're going to bring some Rockin' D bulls in next week, and there's some really bad cat fighting bulls, and they won't have a rider on them at all. So they're just there to fight. They're bred Mexican fighting bulls, and we do it just for the crowd. It's no other reason. Don't get paid any extra. It's just something to entertain y'all. So.
Now the bull tonight is. Do they have a particular bull they keep for the last one that will participate? Because I know some. As soon as they're through, they're ready to go out the gate. They're not ready to play around, but there's some obviously that are. So do they save one particular bull for the last ride?
Well, it was the Rafter G pen tonight, so they could have saved any one of them. They'll all fight. Yeah. That's one thing about Jim and Neil Gay's bulls. Every one of them we could have sold the rodeo with and fought them afterwards. And but again, this is 30 perfs, so we're going to bring in a lot of other contractors, and some of them aren't known for having, they have just straight bucking bulls that may not fight, which is why Jim does a great job, and he goes and contracts a fighting bull so that we can have that entertainment for the crowd. So we'll have the bull that comes out with no rider. They'll save it for the end, and it will be a Mexican fighting bull, and we'll have one every perf starting in the middle of next week.
Give y'all a chance to mention any sponsors that y'all have.
Yeah, that's another thing that really helps me and Andy and other cowboys get up and down the road, is when you have great support from sponsors. The great state of Wyoming, they're backing me 100%, and Justin Boots, Ruffy Hats, and Montana Silversmith. And like I said, it's awesome, because a lot of them are really involved with rodeo and helping a lot of us get up and down the road. So it's just another relief that you don't have to worry about as much when you're traveling. So I just like to thank them all, and look forward to a great year this year.
Andy?
Yeah, and I just really want to thank Pro Rodeo Team Oklahoma for backing me, and hopefully they'll keep backing me.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. We appreciate it, and we definitely appreciate everything that y'all do.
Appreciate you.
Okay, Tammy Webster.